All right, everyone. Welcome to the greatest disaster on the internet. It's the Four Heads Podcast, live from Philadelphia. And it's episode, what is it?
136. 136.
Whoa, no way.
Plat Chat.
Episode 136 of Plat Chat?
Episode 136.
That's a real big milestone to hit.
I feel like, dude, I think the last one was 150. Did we go back?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Truly.
Sometimes we do that.
Truly,
As a
yeah.
sponsor as well.
That's not
Shout
true.
out
to them.
I don't think you're allowed to say sponsors
No,
that aren't
we're
real
not.
sponsors.
Sponsored by Truly.
I really don't.
not a real brand. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
Getting off to a great start already.
I do want to point out that, Bren, you have the whitest legs I've ever seen.
I know. I actually completely forgot that we were doing like a full body shot. And I also only packed shorts for this entire week.
For the entire trip.
Yeah.
He was going from California to New York to Philadelphia.
In shorts.
And
you're really zooming in on my legs? Okay.
I mean, look how white they are.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I don't go outside a lot, I'll be honest.
Wow.
That's totally true.
They kind of match my socks.
Pasty.
I mean, it's horrible.
We barely got here.
Yeah, we barely.
Yeah,
got
my
here.
God.
We did.
So, just so everyone is aware, me and my wife, we planned the trip, and we were telling everyone, oh, hey, you know, we're going to take a mega bus up here from New York to Philadelphia.
We knew that.
Everyone knew that.
We
But,
bought bus tickets.
We purchased the tickets.
but everyone decided to go stay in Matt's home in Long Island.
That was a very bad idea.
Terrible
Yes.
idea, actually.
Looking back on it, it was a poor geographical decision.
Well, we didn't really have a choice, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
you
the
did.
The UN was in town.
No, you had a choice.
That's
to stay with me in
true.
Brooklyn.
Bren had a very important appointment with the UN, so we couldn't stay anywhere other than Long Island.
At one point last night, they were trying to convince Rich Campbell to stay at Rich's place. But then Rich was like, well, you guys, you remember this? He's like, you guys can come by and use my sauna, but you can't stay over.
Yeah. We're out on a
sauna.
rooftop bar, and he's like, you can come to my sauna, and then we'll chill and watch some movies.
But then you guys got to go home.
Yeah,
We're
then you
like,
got to
"What?"
leave.
To be fair, I just wanted some New York pizza, and it was 2 a.m. And you know we've had a few drinks, and Matt doesn't even allow us to get some New York pizza.
Well,
And
no.
that was
'Cause
like
I knew
that's the one thing I went to New York for.
Because I knew we had to get up for the bus. And then
Sure.
this morning,
Wow.
I wake up, I check Waze, and I'm like, we're not making this bus. I wake up Johnny, who's in the living room of my parents' house. I just shake him. And he's like, I'm going back to sleep. He just rolls over.
What do you want me to do? It's like, okay,
Wake
we've
up.
had a
Wake
few
up.
drinks. We've
Because
had a
we
few
have
drinks.
to get on the bus.
I went to bed at like 2 a.m., right?
Uh-huh.
All right. I had a few drinks, you know, not the best quality sleep, as people know. I wake up at like 8 a.m. and there's like a garden gnome shaking me. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, well, how would anyone react? I just went back to bed. Like,
I mean, to be fair, me size-wise to Johnny would be like a garden. gnome. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
How many
it
drinks
is the
did you
beard.
have?
It's the beard. It's the beard.
Yeah.
Were you drinking?
You only
Oh
had
no,
You didn't-
I'm
you
a
didn't-
Blizzard employee. I can
you
only
didn't
drink
mention
two.
it,
Only
so I
only
just
two
didn't
drinks.
know.
Yeah.
And then we get everybody up and we decide, we're like, okay, if we're out on the road by 9:30, we're good. So we'll go get breakfast at 9, hit the road 9:30. We got bagels at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Actually, a
Yeah.
super boring
we sat,
story.
we ate bagels,
No,
and then
we-
Frank, dude, our
Oh.
poor Uber driver, Frank.
Oh,
Yo, you're
Frank.
out there watching, Frank. I feel
Frank's
so
not
bad.
watching.
Shout out to Frank.
What happened to Frank?
Frank had kids, and he was a chef, and we put him through the worst Uber drive he could possibly have imagined. He was
Well,
late
what did he say?
driving
'Cause
through
he
traffic.
said something,
No,
right?
he was just he just kept shaking his head. Like he would look at the traffic thing, and we were sitting in the Uber for so long doing nothing that my phone vibrated and the Uber app was like, it hasn't updated in a while. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, like we're good. Like that's how long we were stuck in traffic. And
Yeah.
then the bad part is he had to drive back out of it to go home.
Well, if I was Frank, I would just get out my way, fly. If I was Frank, I would just stay in the city.
Wait, what? He has kids, and he's a chef, presumably in Long Island,
Well,
where
he's
he
not-
picked
he's
us up
not-
from.
I mean, chefs don't really live in Long Island.
Yeah,
What do you mean? There's no chefs in Long Island.
None at all. Have you been to Long Island? You've been to Long
That's-
Island? Tell me that place don't look like a chefless place.
No,
What
no,
is-
there's people that
What
are
is a
chefs
man
in
that
Long
makes a bagel if not a chef?
I like how when you
say a
talk
man.
about how
Frank
crappy
was a
Long
man.
Island is, Matt gets very
Baker,
defensive about.
I
how-
do.
Yeah.
A man who,
I don't even really
a man who
like it, but I still
preps
get
a bagel is not a baker.
wait.
The man who
wait,
bakes the bagel is a baker. And I would also argue that a baker is underneath a chef. Chefs can concoct all sorts of different dishes. A
But surely
chef,
there's requirements for being a chef.
Not
I
baking.
can't just put cheese on a piece of sandwich and I'm a chef.
no,
Oh, bro, you
chef,
haven't had
what?
my
A
grilled
chef.
cheese, bro. My
Jeff,
shit's fire.
you sound like Jeff Kaplan.
Okay,
like
I know
a
I'm
chef.
Swedish. But we're not stooping that low. Okay, I'm Swedish.
Wait,
but we're
okay.
not go there.
A chef. Listen, I've watched
Let me
2
let me give you the
episodes of
facts.
MasterChef.
Let me give you the
You
facts.
can't just
here,
do that.
okay? He's probably not working on the day.
What do you mean?
Frank, the Uber driver, he's probably not working on the day.
This is a totally different discussion now.
we're
We're
talking
arguing
about
about the
baking.
stratification of chefs.
Yeah, but that's like you were like, oh, he's got a job to go back to. You don't know.
He's
that.
got children. Children don't take a day
What
off.
the hell? It's a weekday, Josh. His kids are at school. It was like
School?
Not all
2
day. He
PM,
has to
bro.
return and pick them
Yes,
up.
sir.
Well,
Go back.
eventually he'll be able to get home.
Also, how do you know he lives in Long Island? We're talking like we know the man's life story.
You were asleep.
We don't know him.
You were asleep. I've got many pictures of you catching
Oh,
flies.
speaking
yeah,
of
yeah.
pictures of sleep, though, he freaking did you dirty.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
minute-long video.
A minute of me asleep.
Have you guys
your
seen
mouth-
A
this?
minute on Instagram. A full minute
What are you gonna
of
do?
me
Show
rolling
it
my
right
head
now?
around.
Are you gonna show it to the
yeah,
audience?
We ended
slowly?
up.
Oh, yeah.
We ended up taking a train here, so we ended up
Here it
using
is.
our
Here it
opportunity
is.
on the train
Zoom
to
in
film
on
the
this.
lowest form of content available, which was we would just film each other sleeping, and we thought it was hilarious.
Some people set up really, really good Instagram accounts where they make themselves look like their lives are amazing, like stuff's going really well. For us, it just seems like we're a traveling band of hobos every time we step out of the house. It's like, here's me asleep on the train. Here's me asleep on the plane.
I got a
Look
full
over
minute,
there.
10 seconds of it. I could have got more, way more.
the best.
So you're telling me that I was asleep for more than a minute.
Dude,
That's the
no.
only thing you're telling me.
You do this weird thing when you sleep, like your head like kind of goes like this,
Your head
and then
goes
you like
all over
launch
the
it
place.
forward like that.
So
Like,
good.
Your head goes
God.
all
I
over
lose
the place.
control of my
This
neck
video was
muscles
the
while I'm
best.
asleep. Yes,
No.
that is a normal thing.
I must
One
say,
thing-
he
one
has
thing I
incredible
noticed-
balance. Incredible balance.
One
for
thing
being
I
asleep.
noticed about
Thank
your
you.
neck is that it's very strong. I think from all the times you've been
Asleep.
Let's
Asleep-
unpack this
asleep
for a moment.
upright.
What do you mean his neck is very strong?
he's got like a thick neck. It's girthy.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a thick. Tell you who's got a thick neck.
Jonak.
Jonak.
Jonak. Let's
Jonak's
tie that
got a
back
thick
in.
neck.
Let's tie that back in.
Yeah.
Overwatch.
But
huh?
Brent, I'll tell you what.
Flat chat.
But has Brent ever told you his theory on why Jonak has a thick neck?
No.
Because he genuinely thinks there's a reason for it, rather than it just being the way that people
What
are
do you
born.
mean?
Dude, no, okay, so somebody told me this. This isn't me making it up.
No.
Somebody
It could
told
be
me.
both.
No, somebody told me this. Somebody told me this.
On
Someone
RuneScape.
told me that Jonak, when he was a kid, did some unique form of martial arts. And that's the reason. He uses a lot of neck muscles. And that's the
Wait,
reason he's got a
wait.
thick
When he was a
neck.
kid, what's your source?
Like a professional
Like his
headbutter.
mom?
I think Wolf told me.
Wolf.
Wolf told you that-
Jonas.
You know,
Oh,
if
that
there's one
did
guy
martial
who knows a lot
arts.
about martial arts,
Yes.
it is Wolf Schroeder.
I'm pretty sure Wolf
Believable.
told me.
Believable.
So
Have
if I
you
go
seen
to
Wolf?
Jonak's Wikipedia page, it's gonna say like strong neck muscles because
No,
martial
I
arts. when
swear
was a
to
kid.
God, he told me that he did like there was like he was telling me about some Korean martial arts where they use their necks a lot, and like that's the
Like when
reason.
giraffes battle each other.
I can't tell if you're trolling.
I'm,
me right
I'm,
now.
I'm genuinely I'm not. I was told this.
Why would the neck muscles be the thing that was so
Maybe
enlarged?
it's like a lot of gripping.
with your hands.
Yeah, like your
neck. How do you?
But it's like you tense your full body. It's like a lot of weightlifters. They get big necks.
Isn't that because
like,
they
carry a
work
lot of
out their,
weights.
their shoulders
Yeah,
and
if
their
you're
necks
constantly
and
like
stuff?
dragging people.
You've got quite a thick neck, actually.
Oh, thank you. What,
You and Jonak should fight each other with your necks.
Yeah,
I
next
actually
Flat
can't do
Chat
that.
Live. We'll have a
that's what I-
Jonak.
that's what
Bren
I struggle
101s.
with. When I'm
Jonak
trying to
Brand
sleep,
1v1.
when I'm trying to sleep, I find that I get neck pain quite easily. So I'm wondering if there is like these neck exercises you can do to strengthen up your neck.
What are you sleeping
For
on your neck
what?
in a vertical position?
Yeah, sometimes it just goes
What
like
are
this.
Give us an example
It's
of
like
how.
strain in my neck, like here.
Is that how you're sleeping?
Not in my bed.
Oh, no, give us an example.
Like when I'm upright, when I'm trying to sleep, for example, on my flight.
Well, you have no support.
I
You have
had this,
no neck
I had this
support.
dude with some very large elbows. I'm telling you, they were sticking into me like this the
Yeah.
entire flight over.
No,
here.
thanks. I didn't know what elbows were until you jabbed me in the
I'm
side.
giving you an exact example. But and I was like leaning against this, and then there was like a weird amount of space between the window and my chair. So my head was going an extra distance this way, and it was
those
just
suck.
it was falling into the gap. I
I only fly first class because I'm famous as shit.
Ah, you know the Rock as well.
He knows the rock.
No, don't woo that.
knows
Don't
the
woo
rock.
that.
Don't support that.
That's right, baby.
No.
Sorry.
You
Sorry.
can catch me
Clearly-
on Hulu, Titan Games, NBC. It's
Clearly,
what's
we've
up,
not
All
trained
Elite
you well
Wrestling,
enough.
that's what's
If somebody claims that they travel first class everywhere, what you're supposed to respond with is "Eat the rich, eat the rich,"
up. No.
and
I'm
then
not
you
that
swarm
rich.
him and devour him.
God, okay. What are you
We
trying
need
to
him as
do?
the host for at least.
Yeah,
a little
okay,
bit
all right.
longer,
After the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent can
Oh
host.
yeah.
I can jump in that seat.
Golden Boy, I just want to set in some fear. You are very replaceable. So
Yeah? Fair.
Whoa.
Whoa!
I mean, all I'm saying is this. I have not been in the league all year, yet my brown ass is back hosting the stage at Wells Fargo Center. So what does that tell you?
They couldn't
Maybe
get
I'm
the.
not that replaceable.
They couldn't get the Rock. They couldn't get the Rock. So
They went Budget Brown.
They got the third closest thing to the Rock.
Budget Brown. That's
What
what
is
they went
what's the
for.
second closest
know.
thing to the Rock? A rock.
Yeah. A Rock, an actual Rock.
All
They
right.
were booked. All the Rocks were
So
booked.
wanna stick to the
this-
plan?
we are sticking to
How
the
many
plan
minutes
here.
are we in?
God knows.
Yeah. We actually made a run of show for this.
Yeah, we made a whole
and
run of show.
I now regret making it because
gonna go
I
off.
knew we were. I was like, guys, look, we have like different times for this, and it
Yeah.
was like everyone was like,
Can I,
yeah, sure.
Can I go to the
And-
bathroom?
No, stop.
no.
No.
This isn't like when we're doing it from home. You can't just say you want to go to the bathroom.
But it kind of is, though. It
No.
no, it's not.
And also,
You have no free will.
what am I? Am I your father? Like,
It's like you're about to.
oh,
You're about
Papa,
to. You're
can I
about,
go to the
hey,
bathroom, please?
puppy, come on.
Yeah, it's Poppy. You better respect. Okay, well, let's talk about the grand finals because that's what we're all here for, right? You ever watch the
Yeah.
grand finals?
Yeah.
Any Titans fans in the audience?
One.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
Is that
okay.
Wolf?
Any Shock fans in the house?
Oh, all right.
Oh, I see Shock fan back there.
I think
Hey.
we've got some very biased Shock fans at the back.
Yeah, some biases in the back.
So let's preview the grand finals. This is a Plat Chat segment now, as you can tell. From
Has structure now.
yeah, from the Titans' perspective, great season that they had, obviously.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna speak about this from a
Casual's
No,
perspective.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
From
also
a bronze player.
from an
bronze
angry,
player's
yeah,
perspective,
yeah.
from an
yeah.
angry NYXL fan who
Oh.
we got boomed not once but 2 times here. So this is true. This
Well,
all
they
hurts.
didn't do too bad.
No, they didn't. It was
They
a good
actually-
match.
So the playoff run from New York was actually a great showing from them in the fact that they've always just been demolished in the playoffs in
Yeah.
the first rounds. And the fact that they actually went a lot further this time around honestly spells very good things for the future.
You know, the weird thing that I was thinking about that, though, is that they were one match away from making the grand finals both years. It's just that last year's format was way reduced. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't even recall how speedy the format was last year.
It was like a week and we were gone. Like,
Yeah, it was,
to the
whoop,
finals, yeah.
well, bye. Okay, we're off to the grand finals. This year, there's been much more pace to
Yeah,
it.
but then what's even weirder though is that grand finals is just one day rather than it being 2 days.
Yeah,
so it is
but
this-
that's fine because
I
the second
worry-
day last year was trash.
I guess I worry.
Philly folded.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on,
I hope we don't have any Philly fans in here.
People just walked in with
Do you
fusion
not-
jerseys.
now remember where we are.
He just came out the back. He's like, what?
Guys,
Sorry,
give it
sorry,
up for
sorry.
Andre. This is the guy who managed to make this whole thing possible. By the way, impossible without him.
I kind of worry.
That's more cheers than Fusion got
Yeah,
last year.
it's true.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yo, you're trying to not leave the building. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Me and Golden Boy were just in a car ride on the way here, and they were like calling in Philly fans, Philly Eagle fans on the radio. Those guys are mental.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
actually
Yeah, yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
screaming on the radio.
Yeah.
Like screaming, calling like
And
the
then the guy,
Patriots
was
bums.
like, "Oh, I should have paired you with the Cowboys fan that called." And then the guy's like, "Don't you ever say I'm a fucking Cowboys fan ever again!" Don't you blah, blah." He's like yelling the whole time. I was like, "Sir,
Screaming.
please,
Why? What is wrong
inside
with you? Testing the
voices.
patient.
Well, I just want to prod them a little bit. Like they say always prod a bear, always say boo to a goose, you know, just to see what they do.
Just to see what
Who
they do.
says that?
Always prod a bear.
People, they. It's just a well-known fact.
An assorted group of
Yeah,
people.
yeah. It's just a saying, you know. It's an idiom.
Do you guys worry about the Titans with the time
An idiot
off?
for an idiom.
I feel like they got like on a little bit of a streak,
the
and they
time-
started
Well,
to get
Shock had
the
equal
meta.
last time off.
Yeah,
Well,
both
no, I
teams.
mean, yeah, but I think like the Shock, you have Krusty, right? You have like now you have an opportunity to game plan if you're the Shock, right? I mean, you were worried with the Shock with their loser bracket run, like actually making it. Vancouver, you beat NYXL. You have like a little bit of extra time, but seeing a hot Shock team on the other side, knowing how good they are.
Well, that's why I think it benefits Titans, because now Shock
Really?
went on a hot streak
Yeah,
throughout the
I agree with
playoffs,
Johnny.
and like for a week straight they just dominated everyone,
I
and then
think
they're
the
supposed to
Shock
take
are
a
good.
2-week break.
This is,
Personally.
this is
So-
weird territory though, because typically, like when you go through a tournament format like this, like let's think about Overwatch World Cup or even like Halo or COD,
Yeah.
where, like you'll have a team that goes through that loser bracket run. Typically, that team kind of loses gas toward the end.
Right, the
but
team-
this is like much different
Well,
territory.
you
because
know,
they're all
like
getting this like substantial
like in
break.
Halo, COD, like games that had this type of format, the team that comes out of losers, they usually win like the first series. If they win the first series, they almost certainly lose the second series. Like they just don't have enough energy to get through it. This
Yeah.
is only one game,
It's a
and
lot
they've had a
different.
ton of
It's a
time
lot
off.
different.
It's
2
super
weeks.
different.
You
Yeah.
have 2 weeks off. I mean, here's the thing, though. There's a lot of game tape right now on the Shock that the Titans
True.
can look at and then they can review. Shock have been heating up, but the thing is, does that momentum carry forward? Because, again, they've had 2 weeks off. A lot of these teams, they were making a run through that lower bracket, but now they've had a 2-week break. Again, remember, who are they scrimming against? Who are their scrim partners right now? There's no other teams in the league that have any.
Yeah,
any
you're
skin in
probably
the game.
you're probably trying to scrim like contenders level teams right now.
I know for a fact that
World
his-
Cup teams.
Got some early hot tub juice in
Okay.
here. Can you,
Yeah.
can you hear
There
it?
we
Can you
go.
hear it bubbling?
There we go.
The bubble going on. There's champagne everywhere.
Yeah.
Would
Wait,
be if it
wait,
was
wait,
your
wait,
hot
you
tub,
bathe
wouldn't
in
it?
Is the
Champagne?
champagne in the hot tub?
Yeah, why
Like,
you
for-
pay
Had some stuff, but the thing that I wanted to get to in sense though is it doesn't really matter about the time off. I think it's the location difference. It's the feel of it that's different.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
why I think the Shock are gonna. It's gonna be a much more even match than people think. You
Sure,
look.
yeah.
You look at the way that it played out, and like Shock just obliterating New York in the lower bracket after they went to 7 against Titans. I feel like most people are coming in thinking it's gonna be like a 4-1, 4-0 Shock, just gonna
But
tidy
this is
them up.
sort of why I
Ain't gonna happen.
favor Vancouver, though, because they've been in the grand final so many times before,
You
on,
would
on like a
predict-
big stage, and it's so much about
but
mentality
never
when you
on
walk
this
up
level.
stage.
No, not on
Never,
this
never
level.
with
Yeah.
12,000 people.
Well,
in
neither
the
of
Sure,
the
but it's a
Shock,
big
though.
stage
They
anyway.
got more than
Same
the
with-
Shock.
Same
They're
with the Shock.
champions. They know
Yeah.
what mentality to tap into. Just like, okay, this is how
Sure.
I'm gonna.
I would say
walk
though,
on
if
stage
any
and
other team in the
tap
league has a championship
Yeah,
mentality, it's
it
San
is- it is
Francisco.
San Francisco.
They come out there and they clap on the
Well,
regular.
they boomed themselves versus Atlanta, and it's because they overthink themselves.
Yeah,
and
but
they
at
just
that
have the
time
wrong
though,
mentality.
when that match was going down, we all like kind of thought like, oh, either of these teams could make a run. Like if Atlanta won that, like we were like, oh man, maybe they can make a run.
Yeah, you
like,
go back and watch that game though, and it was fairly Papega level. Neither team had
Exactly,
really
yeah.
figured out what was going on. But that's why I think both teams are at a
So
great
let-
point now.
Let's get because it says here predictions. Let's get predictions on the board then. But before I get to you, jerk-offs, I want to see from you guys, realistically, who you think is going
gonna
to
interview
win.
them one at a time?
No, I'm not-
Yeah, I was gonna line and bring them up. Like I mean,
let's get our, we have a great roaming cam, by the way. So I want to see, realistically, how many people think Vancouver is going to win? Like realistically. No no fandom aside. Like you're like,
There's
okay,
a-
All right.
okay, we got a
okay.
few. We got a few. And then I
Puckett's,
thought,
Puckett's got 2 hands.
Puckett's got 2 hands.
I
up
don't
there.
work. I don't work.
Okay, all right, and then now realistically, the Shock.
Wow. But, okay.
See, this is what I'm thinking though. I think that's
Someone raised their wine over there. I'm proud of you.
Hey!
There you go.
Do you think though? Do you think the Shock are going to have a little bit of advantage with the crowd? Because like last year, you could easily see that Philly was going to have an advantage with the crowd because like New York, Philly, so close, like easy travel.
I actually don't think so.
Do you think the Shock are
Because
going to have any
you got
advantage?
two drastically
They're very,
different
very
teams
different.
when it
Yeah,
comes to the geography of it. Last year you had Philly.
Chris
super close to
Bucket,
New
ladies
York.
and gentlemen.
I was like, what is this? I was like,
Oh, thank
No.
you.
Recanning us up.
Don't give me the all right.
Oh,
there
the
we go.
lime.
It would have been great though if it hit Brent
Puckett's
and then he
clearly-
died.
Puckett clearly not impressed at the pace of what this show is going at right now. He's like, got to juice
Yeah,
these
2
boys
of
up a
these
little
and
bit more.
my old ass is gonna be shattered. It's gonna be great.
But
All right.
but
What were you
Two
saying?
completely different
Yeah.
locations to the geography. Last year you had, it was set in New York, right? And
Yeah.
you had Philly, that's very
Yeah,
close.
the Fusion busting Philly.
Yeah, they
fans.
did.
And,
Yeah.
and oh my God, it was packed with Philly fans. This year, I think you're just going to get Overwatch fans. They're just there for the Overwatch, right?
Well, you saw here. There's tons
But
of
I'm
San
saying, that's
Francisco
what I'm
fans.
saying. Like, you see
Ah,
tons
but
of
are
San
they-
Francisco.
pick one of
but
the
we
two
said
teams.
use logic, you know? We said, take.
Were you
take-
guys using Logic?
What?
okay. I'll be
yeah,
real with
exactly.
you. I'll be real with you. I never use Logic. It's okay. Don't worry. Yeah.
I asked for Logic.
As much as Bren does.
There you go.
He's as much
Exactly.
Logic as Bren
As
does.
much as I do.
You're an
Which-
inspiration, Brendan.
Which
Yeah.
is zero. If
The
I can
wisdom
make
of the
it
crowd.
to the Overwatch League analyst desk by not using my brain.
But here's the more interesting question, I think.
Yeah.
Because we've got like 87% of the people think that Shock is going to win.
Yeah.
That was even the same with our analysts on the
Yes.
show.
Only two of the talent.
Only two of
had,
the talent.
You think they'll be
Vancouver.
cheering for Titans as the
No.
underdogs?
I'm not saying that that's the anything to do with cheering.
Okay.
I think how close the game is actually going to be
All right.
way
so
more
who do you guys
interesting.
think's going to win?
I think the Shock are going to win.
Give me a scoreline.
I originally thought like 4-1, 4-2. Like, I think it's going to be a closer series. And, like, I think after the last games we saw where NYXL gets taken to 7, they lose to Vancouver, and then what happened with Shock NYXL, I think everyone's like, it's going to be a blowout. I tend to agree more with Josh, where I think it's going to be a bit closer than people expect. I still think the Shock are going to come out on top, though.
4-1. 4-0-4-1.
Not a 4-0. I don't think we see a 4-0. I'd be
it's
shocked. I'd be
4-1,
shocked if we
4-2.
see
Give me a
4-0.
precise scoreline.
4-1.
4-1. Shock.
I'm going 4-3 Shock, actually. Because Vancouver Titans, they haven't lost a single control map.
That's
the entire
wild.
playoffs.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that means that they get losers map pick advantage if they win the first map, right? So I think San Francisco Shock, they're really going to have to like gruel the entire series. Wait, what are you
No,
laughing at?
you just framed that in a really weird way where
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
was
follow
like,
her.
yeah, well, when you.
What do you mean losers map pick advantage?
Well, because they get to pick more maps.
Right, because they win the first, and even if everyone wins on their own maps after that,
Yeah.
They still
Vancouver would still win.
have an advantage.
That's a pretty
That-
big
so,
brain take there,
That makes
Johnny.
sense, but
Yeah.
also Vancouver literally
I'm
picked
not
the
that
first
smart.
map
How many-
because they're the highest seed as well.
How
So-
many-
I only thought
how
the
many,
5
uh,
games.
Okay, can we move on? Can we move on?
How
All
many
right.
playoff games did we see? How many playoff games did we see? So, like, after the play.
16.
You want us to do math on broadcast?
15.
Was it 15?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe chat knows.
Not including play-ins.
Yep.
It's not 15.
It's 15.
It's not 15.
It's 15.
Take the mic away from it.
I think it's actually 15.
It's about 11, isn't it?
What do you mean about 11? Does it
What's the
matter?
point?
Can we
Where
pull
are
up?
we going
The
with
point
this?
is, only one of those matches, in only one of those matches,
Yeah.
the team that won the
Chat's
control
saying
map,
15.
15?
Yeah,
Alright,
chat's
well,
saying
it's
15.
but it's Sideshow's chat.
Hold on.
so-
No. Someone said 13.
13?
Yeah.
So
They-
about 11
Bro,
is
they're gonna-
right.
Oh, no,
About 11 could
actually,
be right.
Han Yolo says 69.
Nice.
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 Oh, it's the funny number.
Okay,
Ah.
but out of all the games, with the exception of one, the team that won the first control map, I'm going to keep reiterating it, it's so important. The team that won the first control map went on to win the series.
Exactly,
This
yeah.
advantage is massive. This first
Yeah.
control map coming into the grand finals is going to mean so much because of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It means that you get this advantage moving forwards. It's the first repeating game type as well.
Yeah.
Control is the second, is the next, the map to come up after the fourth map that's played.
Yeah.
So you have a huge advantage if you're really good on control.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I still
so-
think Shock wins.
so
because
Shock
I think
wins
that,
4-3.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
think that
Yo,
the
I can
crowd
really
advantage
tell
is
you're
going to
trying
help them.
Move this along.
I am because you guys
You wanna-
just
you
throwing
wanna-
logic into this, and
Yeah.
I'm not smart, so I just go up there and yell.
So we got
"Are you
two
ready?"
Shocks.
to people.
Did you
Yeah.
did you pay for these people to come in? They're like going for you, and you're like I
Oh.
don't know. They're cheering for you, and you're mentioning.
You want to know
your
why?
NBA
Because
shows.
here's the deal.
Oh,
and,
here we
and, and,
go.
and I really want you to think about this for a moment, because every morning I wake up and I go and I look
wish
in the
you
mirror and
Oh my, that's
I'm sorry, that's too
Whoa.
dark. That's too
Whoa.
dark. I'm sorry.
And-
I wish he would lie in a little bit
no
more.
more of these for you.
He
No
looks
more of these for
unrested.
you.
and I wake up and I look in the mirror and I think, man, I'm awesome, right? And then I show up, and then a bunch of people show up, and then they confirm I'm awesome. So at the end of the day, everyone is here really to see me.
I'm gonna be real.
He left out the part. Oh, he left out the part where every morning he texts his Dwayne. He's like, "Hey, bud, how you doing?" And just
then no
reads
reply.
no replies every morning, just all the way down. He's got
all
him
right.
on block
How,
by now.
how did you fit into the building with your massive
With my,
ego?
I thought you were gonna say because of my girth and weight.
No, no
Both?
one would dare be so
Yeah,
cruel.
My fat brown ass. How did I
Yeah,
get
harsh like that. You've been going to the gym. You've been
Thanks,
hitting
man.
it.
You
You've
know,
been
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
fine.
Looking
you know?
swole.
I'm trying to look good. 'Cause
He's
last-
competing in Titan
I
games.
looked at the pictures of me last year, and I was like, I can't look like that again. So I've been
Switched it up.
You
That's why we're
inspired me.
drinking
That's why
the-
we're drinking Trulies.
Trulies.
That's
Yeah.
right. The
Water.
the what is
That's why we're
this?
drinking water.
The hard seltzer with natural flavors
What's it got
of
in
the
it?
foreheads.
1
you
gram
go.
of sugar, 100 calories.
Yeah. All right. Predictions, Josh. Go.
scintillating.
Hurry up, damn it.
I think it's going to be really close. I think the two
Good
the,
prediction.
the unbeaten control
Brent,
maps
how do
is
you
going to
think?
be huge for the Titans. The other thing as well, here's another little bit of hot tub juice, is that when we were talking to people from
You
the
need to stop
Vancouver
realizing
Titans,
the juice doesn't matter.
Hot tub juice sounds horrible.
Go. What's the juice?
here's the juice, right?
Bath water from foreheads.
My,
How many people have gotten sick of hot tub juice?
Eau de poo. Eau de poo. That'll be our perfume.
right, so when we were talking to the Titans,
Yeah.
we said this to them. We were like, oh,
put
well,
these
are
on.
you worried about the shock? Are you worried about, the run that they've made? And no, they said, absolutely not. The scrims have been great
Yeah.
for them all season when they've been winning, and they've been a bit all over the place when they've been losing, right? So they think scrims, fair correlation.
I can't take you
So-
seriously.
I can.
We're going off the scrim bucks here, but what I can tell you is that a couple.
Scrimbox from versus Korean contenders
No,
teams.
Versus when they
no,
were
versus
playing,
some of the
You
when
weren't
they were
listening, John.
when they were playing against Shock. So they were scrimming against Shock up until a couple of weeks before they found out that they were both going to be in the grand final.
Yeah.
So they cut it a couple of weeks before they would both realize that they met up. Now, according to the Titans, and let's be honest, every team adds like 50% to their
Yeah,
scrim
yeah,
rate.
yeah.
It's that they were bodying the Shock in scrims.
But
So
if
according
anyone,
to the shop,
but
then.
nobody has ever came out and been like they were bodying us in scrims. Nobody's
But they,
ever been
but
bodied.
what
in
they
scrims
say
ever.
is, oh, we're going 50-50 with them. And you're like, oh, my God, they're getting trashed.
Yeah,
They're getting destroyed.
Yeah, when teams are telling you they're splitting scrims, other people are getting
They're
ran
getting
through.
rolled.
I mean, they're getting.
Yeah.
they're
As a
gonna
former
dominate.
player, I can't confirm this.
But-
we're in Korea, like all the Korean teams are beating us, and we're just like, yeah, it's fine.
Do you have,
splitting games.
do
We're
you have a
50-50.
prediction?
So do you have
Yeah.
a prediction?
Yeah, what is
So
your
my
number?
prediction is that I still think the San Francisco Shock are going to win, but I think it's going to be like a 4-3 insanely close game, one of
Yeah.
the best
Wait, you
finals
stole
matches
my
we've
prediction.
ever
You mean to
seen.
tell me we went through all that shit just
So you can
to
get the same
steal
spot
his
that Johnny
prediction?
got.
Well, yeah, I'm just reiterating what he said.
Yeah.
I just agree with him.
Welcome to
All
Pat
right.
Chat.
Yeah.
Bren, your
That's how it
turn.
goes.
Your turn.
Here we
I
go.
wrote an article on this recently.
You right.
For who? Who'd you write an article for?
I wrote an article about this recently.
You
On
wouldn't
Twitter.
know.
On
You wouldn't
Twitter.
know him.
Overwatchleague.com.
Oh, really?
Wait,
Yeah.
you wrote an article on? Oh,
We
they
must
let
have
you?
all not responded to the email, and they just like, oh, Brandon, you got to do it.
Wasn't quite an article.
Okay.
It was more of like a little
Twitter
it was
thread.
a paragraph.
Right.
So
Right,
the article
little
that we're
paragraph.
all in, your little paragraph. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote a little paragraph, and I think it's going to be very close between them as well. And I'm unfortunately agreeing with the rest of this sofa.
Wait,
here.
no, this is unreal. You
I
can't
think-
just.
It's what I wrote
Yeah.
in a
4-3,
fucking
so you're saying
paragraph,
4-3?
Johnny.
It's a
It's
super reasonable
Yeah,
expectation,
it is
though.
a-
4-3 is what I'm expecting at a scoreline. I think they're going to get a draw on the first hybrid map. It's going to go to 8 maps, is my precise prediction. So,
Eight maps.
8 maps.
An
yeah.
8-mapper.
So if I've learned anything from Pocket, this is where Golden Boy says he's predicting Vancouver Titans.
And then he gets chased.
And
the
He
crowd
get- then he
goes
gets
wild.
cheered.
no, I mean
That was Brett.
As much as I love the Chris Puckett method of desk hosting, the Golden Boy method is to not say anything, and then
You're
whoever
never wrong.
wins,
Yeah, you've already done enough.
I just say, well, I think they were going to win the whole time.
I always knew they were going to win.
I always knew that the London Spitfire
what about
were going to win
Bren?
the championship.
Every Shanghai game last year, we'd come in. We knew they weren't going to win.
Okay,
We
let's
knew they
okay.
were going
Some
Brett
behind
get
the
on the
scenes.
desk, he'd rip his shirt off. Shanghai, everybody going crazy. Like
Some behind the scenes when I would host the desk last year. We actually just made him predict Shanghai, even if we knew that they weren't going to win.
No, there was one time we weren't
There was that
sure.
one
There
time-
was
Oh, no,
one
the
time we
Florida
weren't sure.
game.
The
Florida game.
Legendary.
Oh,
No,
'cause
no,
they were.
That was a legit game.
The first real game was when they played against Dallas.
Oh, by God.
And
yes.
you boomed effect.
I single-handedly caused Dallas to win that game. I single-handedly caused Dallas to win that game against
I
Shanghai.
casted this game.
There has
because-
never been an analyst that claimed to hard carry a match ever before in Overwatch.
Let me give you the details of this one. I've told this story before. I got to tell it again. It's amazing. We were on the desk, as we usually are, and we're making our predictions, right? And it was that weird format where we did the predictions just after the game or just before the game. The people were about to walk
Oh,
out.
just
whatever.
after the game.
And the players used to.
The players used to hang out behind the cameras, and then they would be staring at us, right? And we see like the Dallas Fuel guys lining up because they go through the tunnel down the middle. So the predictions roll out, and they see the entire desk go Shanghai, Shanghai. There was only 2 people on the desk. I think.
No,
Yeah, it was just you and Crumbs. It was just him and Crumbs.
No, so it was on there too.
Nope.
no,
No, I'm pretty sure
It was just
two.
it was
me
just
and
2. It
Crumbs.
was just
Wait,
2.
what?
Shanghai, Shanghai, right? Shanghai, Shanghai.
Rip
That's what we
Crumbs.
predicted. And I stared.
He's still
out-
alive, you know.
I
He's still
stare-
doing League of Legends.
Doesn't exist.
What
No,
game is
doesn't
that? I
exist.
don't know what that
What
game is.
game is that, Johnny?
Where
I
they
never heard of that
they
game,
shoot
but
magic
I
at
know.
each other. Is that what they do?
What is that?
Oh, I was gonna say it's a great game, but it's actually not. So.
Whoa!
You're not allowed to say that.
Not
You're a Blizzard employee.
that's
Moving on.
very-
Oh,
The point was.
Heroes of the Storm.
I stare past the camera. I look at the program feed. It says Shanghai, Shanghai. I look past the camera, and Effect is standing there, staring at me in the eyes, dead on. He's dead on staring at me, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I knew something was up because
What?
they walk into the caster room, and like usually Dallas is always pretty chill when they would come in because
Oh
like
my
Mitch and
God.
I would be there, we would joke around with the teams, like everyone would come through, and like they came in. And I was like, oh, hey, guys, what's going on? Like, nobody even looked at us.
Nobody
I was like,
looked at
whoa.
them.
I was like, all right.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going,
And then-
guys? And he went out there, and he just like,
Effect
oh, my
had
Lord.
one of the best games he has ever played.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
actually-
history
It's
of
the Elims
Overwatch.
record. It's still the Elims
It's still the
record.
current elimination record in a match.
Yeah.
I boomed him so hard. And afterwards he said on Twitter, he was like, I cannot believe the analyst predicted Shanghai. I went out there and channeled my rage into a win. And I single-handedly made Dallas win that game.
You extended Shanghai's losing streak.
Yeah, I did.
and your bitch ass predicted Shanghai to win that day. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good
the
times.
best. He would come out with the
You know what,
Shanghai
Bren?
hat
I
and,
think this
yeah.
calls for the dunce cap. That's what this calls for. There it is.
Whatever happened to the dunce count we had at BlizzCon last year? Remember
someone
that?
stole it.
It traveled the countries.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not countries.
What
It
do
went
you
to
mean?
multiple countries.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of BlizzCon, somebody randomly took it, posted a picture of themselves on the airplane with it, and we were like, "That's our hat! Just run away with it!"
Here you
and
go.
then sent another picture because they'd given it to their friend who lived somewhere else.
Yeah,
They
so they
just
just
wandered
traveled
around.
We
around.
had a cool dunce hat at
Weren't you
BlizzCon
supposed
that I
to
don't.
draw dunce on
we
there?
raised
Like
it.
write the
D,
word
you know?
dunce?
Yeah.
D stands
D.
The D could be anything.
for dickhead.
Yeah.
This is very shoddily made.
It's not.
yeah.
You just
You
gotta,
made
a poor dunce
I didn't
cap.
make it. You got to put a couple of incisions into it, so that way it fits on better.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ah.
Wow, look at
We did this last.
that. The dumbass knows how to work a dunce cap. That's great. All right. Well, you know, okay. We usually do this on Foreheads. I thought it'd be a good idea to do it here. We want to let everyone know as well. In the house right now, in the halftime, you can actually write a review on some Post-it
yeah.
notes and put it on a board back there that we left. But we also do.
Okay, the
like
board
to-
is gone.
Is the board
Puckett is
gone?
shaking his head.
Is the board gone?
Is
Is
the board
there a
gone?
board?
Oh, we have it.
I
Oh, we
was
have it.
about
We
to-
have it.
That was expensive. Okay, keep. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Puckett's
thank you
ass
for
is
plunking
on
your
the
ass
board.
on
Oh,
it.
he's sitting on it. Mm.
There you go. But we also like to read reviews, as you guys know if you listen
Oh,
to
my
Foreheads
word.
podcast.
You pulled up a couple.
I pulled up some reviews here.
Oh,
And
God.
this one actually, it's a 5-star review. By the way, if you guys make sure you review us because that's how we become famous and make money off of this. This review is
sound like
They
from-
literally paid to get in there.
You sound like an Uber driver, like begging for 5 stars.
Oh, 5 stars. 5 stars.
yeah. This review is from Matt, the Radar Technician Guy.
On what?
On Apple Podcasts. It's actually
Oh.
his name, Matt, the Radar Technician Guy.
He sounds
And
like
good
he's
or
got
bad
a good
things?
job.
The review says, my brain is expanding. And he says, after listening to this podcast, my brain has grown so much that I've had to increase my hat sizes by 8. Whether it's talking about AI, esports, or more AI, I can guarantee your brain will also expand while listening to this podcast.
That's really
Thousands of years from now, scholars will be looking back at this as the pinnacle of human achievement. There you go, Matt, the Radar Technician Guy.
It does make a
Give
lot of-
Matt, the
that's a
Radar
great
Technician
review.
Guy. a
I
round of
know.
applause.
I know. We were joking about it because, like, the entire time leading in it, so we're like, we're not going to talk about AI and robots, but there was that robot video.
Oh,
that you had.
yo.
Oh,
That
yeah.
this
Holy
robot
moly.
was doing like
from the
some
Boston Uprising.
No,
the Boston
no,
Uprising.
Boston Uprising.
The Boston Uprising's
Boston
not
Dynamics.
making AI robots.
Boston
like
Dynamics.
that.
You can't
Boston
call the entire
Dynamics.
thing
It's called Boston
Uprising
Dynamics, yeah.
bot.
They're making like these
So
robots.
Yeah.
They're making these robots. They're like kind of like soldier robots. It's crazy.
Yeah, like the
They have a
robot
dog
was able
one.
to do a
Oh, that's
flip
what you're talking about.
and then able
Yeah,
to.
I knew we were. I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole because I know you're going to go into some AI speech.
Yo,
about, like,
okay, we got to go into this. so do you remember? Okay, of course you do. We went to New York, right? We went to
That was
see-
2
we were
days
there,
ago.
We were there today.
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
in New
we were
York
there today,
today.
we saw Team New York. We saw their headquarters and whatnot. We
Yeah.
saw their studios, right?
Yeah.
They got like normally you have like a camera and then you have a teleprompter, which essentially is a bunch of words that come down. They allow people like Chris Puckett to do his job. And you as well, actually,
Yeah,
I should say.
Basically, it's a camera, and on the camera, if you've never seen it, there's a screen attached, and on that screen, there's some
Yeah.
text where they write in our scripting and stuff like that. Because Lord knows I can't remember shit.
And we went to a place.
We could replace Alex with a Boston Dynamics bot.
Probably can, honestly.
as long
But-
as he
but
had
you know
text
Do you
what?
think they
Speech.
would give us an
I
AI
will claim
robot to do a show?
affirmative
with?
action. Okay, affirmative action
Really?
for brown people.
What does
Right.
that mean?
There are far less robots
Oh, God
working
bless
in the
you, you're
entertainment
British. You
industry.
don't know
I
what that
don't know
is,
what
do
that
you?
is.
Oh man, there's a lot to teach you, Brendan. There's a lot to teach
We
you.
were talking about this stuff the other day with the cell phones. Did you hear about this? There was like a thing I was reading.
Wait, you never let them explain the
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
talk about your AI.
Anyway,
Talk about the
anyway.
AI.
You're all interrupting. But we went to that place. Do you remember the teleprompter that moved and followed you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
was
It was a
What
camera.
blows my
It was a
mind-
camera on wheels.
camera on wheels with a robot,
That
and it would
followed
follow you, and it would track your eyes, and it would follow you around and rotate around the room.
Don't know whether it did that.
Bro, it's crazy.
I think it was just going in random circles.
It looked like it was just going in circles to me. I wasn't staring down.
Puckett went up to it, and he was like moving around trying to trick it
Puckett,
out.
can you confirm, Puckett?
He was trying
Wait.
to trick it out.
Yeah, Puckett
see?
confirms, yeah.
Puckett-
Wait,
yeah, he was following him. It was following his
wait,
face,
was that
bro.
AI? I thought it was like controlled by someone.
No, I think there
AI,
was
bro.
someone there, but I think what he's getting
AI.
at is
It's
that
AI,
eventually,
dude.
through AI, we should be able to produce an entire show.
Maybe. but the scary thing about it was, you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Is that the show where you brought it up at the time and called it 1969: A Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
And then you corrected him and said, "Oh, do you mean 2011: A Space Odyssey?" Because I know that show. It's 2001: A Space
And
Odyssey.
it's also not a show; it's a movie. You dumbass.
A movie is a type of show.
But
It came
it
out-
really-
no, no,
no.
A movie is a type of
It
show.
really
No, it is
affected
not.
Bren's life, though.
This is a show. A movie is a show. A theater
Yeah.
performance
Oh,
is a
man,
show.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
This is a creepy film, man. It's got like the robot voice, and it's like, I can't remember
That's
the dude's
not
name.
true,
I think
though.
it's like Hank.
How? How?
No,
It's
no.
so
I
old.
think it's
Why are you guys
Hank.
watching this old movies?
I'm just thinking about the fact that you said that a movie is a show.
Of course it is. Anything you go to and you're entertained is a show. It's a show. It's a side show. It's the show that happens on the side.
Boo this man! Wow. What
but
an
it-
asshole.
That's just the word. It just happens to be my name as well.
Sideshow Gaming.
I can't see.
Guys
the
into
thing-
gaming?
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Did you know the little thing that moved with the teleprompter, right? They used to make chess robots. They tried to invent chess AI at the beginning of the information age, and they made the first robot that they thought was like a supercomputer that could that could beat the best chess players. It was just a little dude sat in a box operating the levers.
Oh, the very first one?
Yeah, first one.
it's
Just a
true.
little scam. Just a guy sat in the middle of it operating levers. Very skilled
I
chess
saw that
player.
robot video. That one, that's definitely not a scam.
I reckon
That
it's a
thing-
little man sat inside.
No.
Wait,
No,
do you think AI is just a series of? Do you think it's like midichlorians in Star Wars? You know, like just little men.
A midichlorian's little
Wait,
men.
what?
No, they're
I don't know.
not.
No.
They're actually not. And also, they retconned all that.
Did they really?
Well, it was
No, they
awful.
didn't.
I
No,
hope
they
they
didn't
did.
because the first three movies are still part of the.
I think
the
they
canon.
retconned it. They're
I
just
know
like-
nothing
There's
about
no
Star
way.
Wars,
Yeah, I
so
have no
I
idea
have
what's going
nothing
on,
to
yeah.
contribute to
Wait,
this
you don't
part
know?
of the show.
Wait, you guys don't know anything about.
Well,
Well, I
what-
expect you because you're just watching Love Island.
Have you
but
read
what
up on
about-
No,
midichlorians?
Love Island UK is where it's at, bro. That's the best show ever.
It is. It's a good show.
It's a phenomenal
Okay.
show, right?
Yeah.
So
Thanks for that.
Matt had an idea.
You just like it because it's from UK.
That was a good show. as
Matt
well.
had an idea that let's try and get Bren on Love Island and record him.
And I want this to happen badly.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it will. It
I
will
mean,
be
I think
bad.
we have a few.
we know it'll be bad.
I think we can actually do it. I think we can get you on Love Island.
Yeah, did you see that Ninja
Wait, but
was
can
doing
you-
that like costume
Oh yeah,
singing
Ninja
thing?
did the thing.
Yeah, so we can
Masked,
totally get Bren on Love
Masked
Island.
Singer.
Yeah.
Ninja, Bren.
Hold on a
Oh, mighty
second.
different
Dwayne the
city.
Rock,
Well,
somewhere in
also-
between.
Golden
you know?
Boy. Okay, Golden Boy. Because you can find me on Titan Games NBC on Hulu.
Oh my God.
Season 2 is coming out pretty soon.
Why are we?
Who booed me?
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I'm from the hood. I'll stab
down.
someone.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa, what?
You're not allowed to stab paying guests. Only the people that
No,
snuck in at the back.
I think Puckett booed me. So did you boo me, Chris? Did you boo me?
He wasn't paying attention.
Never
Are
mind.
you about to fire him? Those Truly's hitting hard, huh?
Those-
In your old age.
Truly, it's different.
yeah, it truly hit me hard.
Wow.
There you go. Truly, the
Holy
best
moly.
hard seltzer of the Foreheads podcast.
Well, we're not sponsored by him. You can't say that.
I'm trying to get us paid, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. Review us on Apple Podcasting, please.
Did you have another one?
I think so.
Oh,
this
man.
One, this one says, okay, I don't know. It says better than Joe Rogan.
Huh.
Did we
True.
read this one?
No.
It's-
Ninja, Bren, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. It
Something
says,
else.
Dwayne the Rock. Dwayne the Rock.
yeah, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, Charles, please.
What?
I did my math, clap. I brushed my teeth, clap.
Who took their time to
I'm
write
going
this?
to Chuck E. Cheese's Pepe Rat.
Pepe Rat?
Even gave Aunt Jean a kiss, Dan's game. Going to Chuck E. Cheese's where the fun's gonna flip your lid. Pepe Jam.
Speaking of AI, that's like
it's
Sideshow's
a real
thoughts
cool
in
place
chat.
to be a kid. Pepe, please. I ate my peas. Pee hop.
What does this even
Played
mean?
with the
Bro.
cat Avast Ronda.
This is an Avast meme.
Now
I
you-
knew it was
yeah.
an Avast meme.
I know.
knew it was
It's
an
like I
Avast
knew
meme.
Avast was going to find a way to freaking get into our
I
damn
don't
show.
keep up with
because
that.
he
I
lied
don't-
about doing AvastCon. Freaking.
I don't keep up with the
clown
memes.
shoe.
Like, what, I would have read halfway
And
through that. I'd be
honestly,
like, this is a dumb review. I'd be
It
like,
ends
I'm
in
moving on.
Phil's birthday, man. But you know what? You gave us 5 stars, so
Turn
thank
up.
you so
There you
much.
go.
Yeah, turn up.
Shout out
There
to
you
A Horizon. Shout out to A Horizon.
Yeah.
You don't deserve
You
that.
couldn't even read what the hell he said.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, so
He just clicked 5 stars and copied a meme in
That's
there.
all that matters, dude.
So-
It's about the 5 stars.
I was actually, really distraught the other day on Foreheads. Matt, you don't watch our show, so you don't know.
No,
but
I don't.
was very
I
distraught
don't. So I actually had no idea what I was getting into coming on this.
that you guys called me a boomer.
Yep.
In the last, in
you
one of our
are.
last episodes.
You are an
Oh, you a
outrageous boomer.
And I was talking to Andre, the guy who put this whole show together.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
showed you an
And
iPhone for
he-
the first time.
That's not true. I have one right here. And he was like, "Yo, I'm 31 as well. Does that make me a boomer?" And I was like,
You
nah,
made him
fam.
feel bad.
No, you made him feel
No,
bad.
no.
You made,
Being
you
a boomer
young,
is
you young blood.
being a boomer is not about how old
It's
you
not
are.
an age thing.
It's about your state of mind, and you
Yeah.
got an old,
You got
like
an old
cranky
mind.
state of mind.
Okay.
You are ready to get up at 6 a.m. and just get on your little motor lawnmower, crack open a Monster Energy drink, sugar-free, and just start sipping away at it as you mow the lawn
What?
at like
Huh?
6 a.m.
What?
How
That's
does that
like
make him
real-
a
Who does that?
boomer?
Is this some Avast copy pasta?
It's like boomer territory, right?
How does that? No.
How'd you guys come to the conclusion that GB's a boomer?
Oh,
Well,
many,
I think
many
you can tell by
reasons.
the emojis he uses. Because like if you ever browse Golden Boy's Twitter, it's a bunch of like XD and stuff, and I'm like, that tells me that he's a boomer.
I like
you know when
smiley
you do the
face.
O's and the
Still
dot
do-
and then the smaller O?
Oh, O dot smaller O. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my jam.
That's
though.
like
Yeah,
MSN.
but that's boomer though.
That's like MSN
yeah, that's MSN.
territory.
So
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
okay.
years and years
He only
ago.
figured out what MSN was a couple of years
Yeah.
ago as well.
No,
yeah, he
that's
used to
messed
use
up.
ICQ.
still got
Anyone that uses paper is a boomer. That's
you
true,
gave
actually.
me this.
That's true.
You gave me this paper.
If you had given me that, wouldn't know what to do with it. I'd
Chuck
I'd
it
just
away.
drop it on the floor. I'd be like, I don't know what this is. Never used it in my
Bren
life.
literally threw it away before when it was on his seat.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, this
I
didn't
wish
know
I
what
had
it
the
was.
other paper because Josh printed out this. So we have this Runner show, right? God
Why'd
knows.
you have
it.
multiple?
which is completely pointless.
and Josh gave this to
You
me,
wrote
but
it.
it was like the entire Runner show was like 0.3 font just at the top of the paper.
I
And
forgot.
I'm being
I
called a
forgot he
freaking
can't
boomer.
read
They
because
literally
he's
did not
also
know
a
how to
boomer.
work that printer on the side there. They did not know how to work
What do
that
you mean
printer.
I got it to work?
When was the last time you printed something? I don't really know how to work printers
Actually, we
anymore.
did get into this. You know how to print stuff. You're a printer guy.
I'm not
Yeah.
a printer guy.
You own a printer.
You're the
Oh,
printer guy.
he bought
He
a
owns a
printer. He
printer.
bought like a $400 printer.
Yeah,
I don't know,
well-
what are you printing?
we talked about this on the last Foreheads episode.
If you
Oh.
watch the last Foreheads episode,
I
Watch
did. I
it.
watched the last one. I gave it 5 stars. Where? Apple Music.
Apple
Apple
Podcast.
Podcast.
Apple Music.
5 stars.
we're,
Yeah,
we're,
it's
we're
great.
now in the leisure category.
Oh, the
To
leisure
cut a
one.
long
Yeah.
story
They
short-
kicked you guys out of gaming.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they
But
did.
they don't even make a gaming category anymore.
Oh.
It's like a subcategory of leisure. It's leisure, by the way.
No,
Wow.
it's leisure.
It's leisure.
Leisure or leisure?
Yeah, well, of
Leisure,
course they say that. It's
leisure,
America.
They're Americans.
What do you mean?
That's because we over here we speak an American, boy. You understand that? All right, you better respect the country that you're in.
Is that your Philadelphia accent?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Off-season moves.
Yeah.
What a transition.
Why do I have 2 of these?
You got 3 of them.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We were talking about
Yeah.
Shanghai recently, actually. Some of the biggest
coaches,
stuff that came out
yeah.
recently was all of their coaches just piecing it.
So
Which I was pretty surprised about because, I mean, Shanghai did pretty good for themselves. They
Yeah.
won a stage this year.
What do you mean,
they look kind of bad after that.
Well, it was mostly a meta thing.
They look kind of okay,
yeah.
and then they
won
were
stage 3.
like up at
Yeah,
arguably the best team in the world, and then they
stage-
calmed down again.
Stage 3 was kind of crazy, though. I mean,
Stage 3 was crazy because
Yeah.
they made it crazy because they were insane at the game.
They killed everyone.
All right, I have a different opinion.
Okay, well,
What's
All
your
right.
opinion?
can you say it?
Like, they just kind of won in a crazy stage. Every time when the meta was kind of stable, they were just average.
Yeah, but, you know, a lot of bad teams didn't fire the coaching staff. So,
Oh, well,
it
I
doesn't
mean,
really
the off
justify
season
it.
just started. You ain't know. I
Yo,
mean,
call some people out, Johnny. Which teams?
yeah, that would have been a better one. Oh, who would you suggest
Who
then,
would you
Jonathan?
suggest?
Yeah,
Well, I saw that Boston Uprising picked up a Swedish coach. That's all that really matters. So,
Yeah.
You know, hey, got some
Mineral
Boston
out
fans
here.
in the building.
Mineral
so, you know,
now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mineral.
they
good guy.
they did announce though that they brought up Coach Moon, the former coach of the Valiant,
yeah,
up
they did.
to Shanghai.
Yeah,
as the head coach.
I don't think that they got rid of the Shanghai coaches. I would be really surprised. Levi's a good coach. Blue Ice has a lot of experience.
They'll be
as
somewhere
well.
else, I think.
Yeah, I think they just probably didn't want to move to Shanghai, if I had to guess, because like a lot of the moves that we're going to see this offseason are to do with where you're going to live.
Yeah,
I think,
that's
Which is
'Cause-
so interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to factor in that. Like, if you're going to be coaching Shanghai, are they going to live in Shanghai for starters? Because they're Korean players, and you might get better scrims in Korea if you went and move back there.
Right.
I mean, it's very close. There's not going to be a ping difference if you're scrimming against Koreans.
That's true for
It's-
Shanghai.
it's
It's not
incredibly
true for
close
the
to
other
Shanghai.
Chinese teams.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What happened with Kirby?
So he's gone from the Fusion.
Well, he
so-
didn't have anything to do with the Overwatch side.
But no, yeah, he was more on like.
I don't
the
know about
general
nothing
game.
to do
no,
with
no,
it.
he had something to do, but it wasn't in terms of it wasn't like.
I think he was
Yeah.
director
Because
of
they have
esports
like
or something.
they have like
wasn't
the SK Telecom
Yeah.
partnership or whatever.
I
you
think
know.
it's just the beginning.
Oh, you
of,
spilled.
Yo.
Oh,
spilled?
you.
Everyone
dinosaur?
saw you just
Oh my
spill.
God.
How did you spill it over
Point and
there?
laugh
This is
at him. Point and
unbelievable.
laugh at him, everybody. What
Clean
what
this
a
up.
baby. What a
God.
God.
I think it's just the beginning though, of a
Boy, you
crazy
need
offseason.
Jesus.
Wait,
Yeah, there you go.
can we tap
That's
into
that.
foreheads for a bit? Like this
There
is
you go. It's a dunce.
There you go.
There you
Unbelievable.
go.
This is actually a thing you've been doing all year.
It's not just
You-
all
you
year,
become,
Johnny.
like,
it's my entire
progressively-
life.
He doesn't know how to drink.
I don't know how to drink
so
properly.
I actually figured out the issue.
yeah.
So a lot of people, because I've been analyzing your lips for quite some time when you drink.
That is weird.
That's the creepiest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Just to see how you
I've
drink.
been analyzing
Normal-
the way you drink.
Normal people, because I was actually just bamboozled as to how you constantly spit liquid on yourself.
I do.
Like a toddler.
I actually did it earlier
You did it on
today
the
as well.
train
I did it
today?
on the train, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he did do it on
More
the train.
drinks coming in.
Oh,
You need
here we
another
go.
one?
Whoa.
Thank you,
Joe.
Joe.
Just being
Oh,
gifted.
this is Joe. He did our D&D.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that for us.
Also
All
one
right.
of our observers as well.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm getting
like,
more because
He does our
I don't
D&D
want-
campaign. Oh, he's also an owl observer.
That's the job is what he
But okay,
Priorities.
what
What do you do? So normal people
Coach me.
Normal people put their entire mouths around a can.
What?
No, 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 no.
Oh my God!
no.
No. How do
No.
you drink? Zoom
That's
in.
not how
I
people
want you.
drink.
I want you to put
We need
that
the
whole
side,
thing on your
side
mouth
profile.
and drink it.
The side profile.
you
show
told
them-
you
show
just told me normal people do this.
No, stop.
And
Stop.
drink it. Drink it.
Stop, don't
drink
drink it. Don't
That
drink
is
it.
I can't.
horrible.
I can't even
That's
do
how we
that.
ate ice cream
normal
the other
people-
day.
Oh, he did.
They're like this.
Yeah.
Normal
Yeah.
people do what?
They put their entire mouth around this bit here, right?
Oh, so they go
Okay.
like that.
What is?
You look like a fish when you do it. What is wrong with you?
What are you, a guppy? I mean,
Guppy.
Swallow it, please.
It's just because his face
Okay,
is so long.
but he drinks.
I'll show you how I
and
drink.
he drinks like this. He like gets his teeth on it, and there's gaps.
Yeah.
There's gaps. So he's pouring it into his mouth, and it's just coming out the sides.
I like to pour from a distance.
It's actually messed
into
up.
your mouth?
He was never
Yeah.
taught
Yeah,
how to
I-
drink wrong.
What do you like
So
this?
wait. What's the,
Not quite like that, but more like that.
but
Look.
what's this possible?
Look, there's gaps.
Dude,
Bro,
spilled
yeah,
again.
you spilled it
You
again.
fucking
Bro,
idiot.
Bro, there's
You
gaps.
spilled again. Get the Genji blade.
But nobody.
Ow!
Ow!
I'm sorry.
That's really solid.
Very sharp.
It's an actual sword.
Stop it.
Very sharp plastic.
By the
Mistakes are
way,
made.
I
if
had to go
anybody-
to Party City the other
If
day.
anyone guesses how much this was, they can keep it.
Yeah.
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 No,
You have very badly formatted this game show.
So it's like an auctioneer. I got 6 I didn't really think this through.
Also, you have to
Nobody
pay
gets
us the
it.
money. dude.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it.
Oh.
Ah, well, I'm not getting up.
Boo.
That's that.
Okay, can we point the direction of the conversation back to him?
Rumors.
being
Oh,
an
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We went from rumors to he drinks improperly. Where are we going now? Back to drinking?
back to
Yeah, drinking it
Wait,
well.
you were
Jackass
trying
over
to
here.
justify it, so I want to know what are the positive side effects of drinking with open mouth?
Because if someone has
Oh,
a
don't even.
very bad disease, you minimize surface area contact with
But
your
You're
Yeah.
the
mouth.
only one who
drinking
drinks
at it.
this.
Sometimes I share drinks with other people.
Oh,
But why wouldn't you do it only
I
then?
got a great segue into this. Speaking of sharing things, so yesterday, me and Puckett went to the
like, what are we
Chinatown
talking
Fair.
about now?
Wait,
we
what?
went to the Chinatown Fair arcade, right? We were
The
IRL
Lollipop.
streaming.
Oh,
And
no!
We convinced the front desk guy to we won. We were playing skee ball. We won 40 tickets. I won because I'm the best. And we went to the guy. We got some kazoos, right, with our tickets.
Puckett dropped his kazoo in the street.
Yeah, Puckett dropped his kazoo in the street. But what I saw inside of the lollipops, which you can get for 10 tickets, was an open lollipop. So I had the idea to trick Bren into eating the open lollipop. And he did it.
But
And the whole time, Bren, I think Bren was like mad at me about it. And the whole time I was like, Bren, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We were like telling him, it's on the IRL stream on Puckett's channel. You guys should go look at it. It's absolutely hilarious. And then I saw this thing tucked
He's
away,
like, please don't watch, please don't.
tucked away inside of all of these different little lollipops. And then I thought, I can get Bren to eat that.
Yeah,
And you know what?
it's very easy.
Gosh darn it,
But
I got
I
Bren
feel
to eat
You're
that.
trying to get him off the desk.
I want to defend Bren though, because every time somebody comes up with an idea like that, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know Bren will do it," and you can see like the process of Bren's thinking. Like you guys came out with the lollipop, and I knew you were gonna try and get Bren to do it because
Yeah.
that's what we all do. It's like, "Oh, Bren, try and do this." No,
We're the
hey,
worst
Bren, try and
friends.
do this.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So like. You can see Brent. He's like, I don't really want the lollipop. And you guys are like, him and Puckett just have the biggest smiles on their face. Like, come on, bro, just like take the lollipop.
Just guess. No,
And
here's how
Brent's
they
like,
got
I
me.
don't really
make
want
this
it.
You make
Lollipop.
it sound like drug peddling.
Here's how
Come
they
on,
got
man.
me. They were like, no. You try and guess the flavor. If you
Oh,
guess
yeah,
the flavor,
yeah,
yeah.
guess the flavor, I'll give you $10.
They're so smart.
I'm like,
No, but you
oh,
get some freaking Pega
yeah,
flavor.
you got me thinking like
He,
4D
he,
chess.
he guessed a flavor that I swear was out of
It was
the
like a
newest
fruit.
Zelda
It was
game.
like a
Yeah, it was like
fruit, yeah.
dragon fruit or something.
No, he didn't guess dragon fruit. He guessed
what's-
Dorian.
What's the spiky fruit that smells a lot?
Dorian.
Durian?
Except he said Dorian.
No, I didn't say Dorian. I said durian.
What the
Don't know
hell
about
is
that.
fruit?
I don't even know what that thing looks like.
Yeah,
What is it?
I thought it.
It's banned
Wait,
on
is
public
that-
transport.
And
And they want to make a
Oh, let's make
lollipop.
lollipops out of it. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a weird taste because they were like, oh, Brent, taste this. And I was like, it's going to be something unique. I got to win this $10.
Shit flavor.
It's like, so I put it in my mouth and tested it. And then you told me you found it on the floor.
Not on the floor.
Wow.
It just happened to be
equivalent.
in the box.
I don't understand.
Where
I
all
also-
the lollipops were, where
Why
the guy
would you-
puts
why
his
would
hand
you
in to
do
get
that?
more lollipops.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do that to you?
You've upset
Because
him
last
now.
year at BlizzCon, I made Josh drink an entire maple syrup thing.
Yeah.
So it only seemed appropriate.
But I
It wasn't left in the open in Chinatown
kind of
in New
even,
York,
yeah.
though.
we have arguably the biggest
Completely
event
safe.
of the Overwatch League coming up in 2 days.
yeah, fair.
Where I need to be
Arguably.
healthy.
You don't
What- what's-
arguably.
Yeah,
What-
arguably.
what else is up there?
Korean Contenders Finals.
Wow.
We didn't mention Apex.
Yeah.
No, but when I say arguably, because
you know, I'd be
you don't
shocked if they even make it to the finals. They don't get their asses fired at this point in time.
That's
With
true, actually. Yeah.
How much slight you
What
guys
I
are
what I
talking
loved
here.
about the
Let's have a few
lollipop
more
thing,
of
though.
these.
What I loved about the lollipop thing was what Bren kept repeating was, my mum told me never to eat already opened lollipops. Like there's just a list of things that he goes through, precautions that his mum told him
That's a
as
good
he was
mum,
growing
though.
up. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
good
I remember
advice.
when she was 6, she told me, don't eat opened lollipops.
Just
Hey,
just
hey, on the
open-
That's
positive-
mad wisdom,
Bren,
though.
just
Brent
open
finally
food
paid
and you
his
don't know
grandma
where
back.
it comes from.
Bren
finally
paid his grandma.
back.
Yeah, I did.
So Brent,
Hey, that's worth the applause.
Yeah, that's when we did contenders
in
Bren-
Denver.
in Denver
2017.
2 years ago, Brent borrowed money from his grandma and then just paid her back like a week ago.
Yeah.
Wait, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
just paid her
The
back
first
now.
time we met, do you remember? I had to borrow $5,000 of my nan so I could live there for the time.
If
that
she
it took,
saw how
right?
he was living there, she would have asked that money back real quick. I mean, Brent had a room near this courtyard that kind of became like the communal
You can't
fridge
even
of
tell the full
everybody.
story of this. I know you
And and like everyone would like jump through his window to go in and like grab beers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
in
I
the-
made.
the
That's where I
hotel.
made the burgers. Right?
Yeah.
Alex
Golden Boy
makes
makes
great
really good
burgers.
burgers.
Phenomenal
We're
burgers.
advertising something he hasn't even done yet.
So I think that makes me a chef.
That's it.
Wow.
In a really roundabout way, we go back
Frank,
to
you
Frank
really
the
hit it
chef.
off, huh?
No,
Me
you
and
have
Frank,
to.
Yo, Frank, hit your boy up. I won't go to Long Island.
You have to
though.
be
Fuck that
paid.
place.
You have to be paid to be a chef.
Huh?
You have to be paid to be a
do you mean?
chef. Has to be a profession.
Professional
It's a
role.
career.
You ever been paid to cook?
We paid him for the like the.
So
the
technically,
stuff he
if I
bought.
IRL stream me
My,
cooking
my wife pays me
oatmeal,
with her
I'll
love.
be a chef.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
Oh.
There it is. She
Gold-
didn't, Cynthia didn't even hear it. She
Golden
just
Boy's on
didn't-
fire tonight.
Dude, I'm telling you, if there's one thing I know how to do
feeling
is
it.
work a crowd.
But the best thing about Bren paying back his nan was that he actually made it sound like smart. He was like, oh, I timed it in the perfect, in the perfect way with the stock market. You know, the U.S. dollar is very high, and we're in the middle of
Stock market has
Brexit.
nothing to do
Ladies
with
and
it.
gentlemen,
Oh,
Zoe's in the
Zoe.
house.
Hey,
Wow.
how are you? What do you mean? I just have a bunch of.
I have enough drinks.
Wait, you haven't had any?
No,
I think
yeah.
so.
Well, I don't even know.
I
Thank
like
you.
the grapefruit
I was
one.
drinking
This
my
thing's
coffee
nasty.
and grapefruit seltzer. And
Oh, pass that over
coffee
here. Here, take this one. I don't like this. This thing's nasty.
Doesn't really-
It's open though. Brent,
I'll
drink
actually,
it.
I'll tell you what you were asking me earlier what the advantage of my method of drinking is. The
Oh, do it.
The advantage to my method is that you can't possibly wrap your lips around two, but you can pour both in.
bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
show
get
us.
Brent,
show
get
us.
over it. Get
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Take the mic off.
Somebody in the AMA the other day asked if any of the talent have any hidden talents. I
Yeah.
feel like that is
Your mic's
a
too
weird.
close now.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
There's something
One,
that Josh
two,
likes
check.
to
Ayo,
do,
microphone
it's
check.
Put things in his mouth is
Yeah.
what I've noticed.
You'd be really famous in college.
Yeah.
If you drink any more, you will
It's a shame
absolutely
he got
need the
kicked out of
bathroom.
I need
college.
the
Yeah, I got
bathroom.
kicked out.
Yeah.
I need the bathroom right now, desperately.
Yeah. You can let him go.
Oh,
we let Brent go to
no,
the
I'm not
bathroom?
even joking. No, boo. Okay, these people just want to see me piss myself.
You got to pee? Okay.
He can go.
You know,
Yeah.
go.
I can go.
We gotta
Johnny,
let Brent go
Johnny
to the
went
bathroom.
Johnny bathed on the foreheads one time, so it's
What
no,
do you- wait,
Take the
what?
mic, though. I want you to take the mic and converse with us.
no, don't talk.
No, don't
Don't-
leave the mic.
We don't.
I
want-
can continue. Yes, from
I
here.
swear, if I hear you tinkle, I will be so distraught.
It's not even on, I don't think. Is
Hot
it on?
mic, hot
It
mic.
is.
Yeah,
It
is.
That is
Okay.
that is a hot mic alert.
All right.
Yeah.
Brendan Hook.
Oh, what should we talk about while he's gone?
Yeah,
well,
we can go through the intelligent topic.
Yeah. What did we have that-
Wisconsin, we
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
What did we
intelligence
have
stuff.
that was?
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the rumors that are going on. I mean, like, there's some stuff with Runaways that's popping off.
Yeah.
right?
There was a huge thread about all the.
There was a bunch of different Korean rumors, but that was also started by the same person that had the scrim idea between South Korea and Runaway as well. So I don't really know whether to believe it. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of cool stuff in there though,
Yeah.
like where Carpe might end up next year is a super interesting one.
My backup career, if esport doesn't work out, I'm just gonna post fake rumors on Reddit.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Carpe is on his way to Florida Mayhem. You know?
Well,
You gotta make it
be
believable,
Yeah,
dude.
be
You gotta make it believable.
Bare hands make a compelling argument.
Yeah, Carpe was just
Building
like a
something.
groundbreaking
Who do you
thing
guys
when he
think
go
is
away.
the best player that's going to come up from contenders next season?
Sharp from
Sparkle.
Sweden.
Oh my
Sharp.
god.
He's
Okay,
incredible.
That sounds
Sharp.
biased, and your opinion is worth nothing.
no, but
Moving on.
you know, you saw
Sparkle?
him play in the World Cup.
Yeah, there's a
you
guy
know?
called Sparkle from
Yeah.
Element Mystic who's an absolute nut. That guy's
Yeah, he's
phenomenal.
super good.
But also Alarm from the Philadelphia Fusion University.
Yeah.
All right, any Fusion fans need to keep an eye on him, assuming that he actually does go to Philly, because he might just go elsewhere. I don't know how it's
Nah,
going to work.
Philly.
you know.
Yeah, he'll go to Philly.
Yeah.
Everybody be happy.
That
He'll
whole
go.
process eludes me, by the way, because like if I'm the Academy team or if I'm the Fusion and I have this contract, why don't I just get that? What is this?
Wait a second.
Oh dear
Not
God.
Set the Brent season.
Is that Brennan Hook's music?
No way.
All
Four
right.
challengers in the building. Four challengers who have come to try and test me in a 1v1 scenario live in the studio warehouse, wherever we may be.
Where else are they
Ladies
gonna
and
do it?
gentlemen, it's time for the Brand 1v1.